Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. Waiting for a guest, but haven't heard contact yet, so we'll have open phones. 989-752-6111, whatever you'd like to chat about. We would love to hear from you. Opening day tomorrow, home opening day, I should say, for the Detroit Tigers. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Loons open tomorrow too. So it's that time of year, and the Spirit is still playing. They're in Erie for Game 4 of the playoffs. They're down 2-1. If they win today, they come home even after each team stealing both games from the other. And then they go into an alternate pattern of here Saturday, then next week in Erie, and then back again if needed for Game 7. So that's what's going on. Let's go to the phones here. Bob is in Millington this morning. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. I hope your day is going well.
It is. Hope yours is too.
Good. It is. Thank you. Hey, Art, here about a couple weeks ago, you had mentioned and talked about your experience at the Midland Center for the Arts for the Space Infinite experience.
Yes.
We went to there the next day, and 4 of us, and what a blast. You are right. That was so cool.
It is different, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, and I appreciate you for mentioning that. It was, okay, what are we going to do today? Well, let's do this. And
it's an experience.
Yeah, wonderful.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the Midland Center for the Arts has been hosting a Space Explorer exhibit called The Infinite, and it's virtual reality. You put on virtual reality goggles, and you go into this room. You can't see the room because you're just seeing the virtual reality. And you are on the space station. And literally, these orbs come up, and you put your hand down on the orb, your virtual reality hand, and it takes you inside the space station for a story or an event. And you can walk around. You can step outside the space station and literally stand in space. And they've extended it now till April 19th, which is the final extension, from what I'm told. That it really is worth it, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And when you are standing and you look down and you are zero gravity floating in space, that is a rush.
I'm gonna give this one caution to people. If you are someone who is susceptible to motion sickness, it may take you just a little bit of time to get used to it. So just take your time.
Absolutely.
But when if you're susceptible to motion sickness and you're standing out there in space, you might have a funny feeling.
Yes. The only drawback hiccup we had was 3 of the 4 virtual headsets that we had picked out from the conveyor did not work.
Oh, they give you other ones?
Yes, they did, but that took probably about 8 minutes to replace those because they only checked one at a time.
Wow.
Their process could have been refined a little bit, or the batteries charged, but other than that, what a wonderful time.
Well,
thank you for promoting that.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Unique experience.
It is, and it's one of the few places in the country you can have it. And
yes.
So, anyhow, all right, good enough. Okay. Listen, Bob, appreciate it. You bet. Bye now. All right, and now we're going to move over and talk about what's happening at Michigan Works with its Chief Operating Officer, Pam O'Loughlin, is with us this morning. Pam, good morning to you.
And good morning to you.
So, as I understand it, you call it a hiring fair. I call them job fairs, but you have a hiring fair coming up pretty soon?
Yes, we do. On April 9th, it's going to be held at Mid-Michigan College in Harrison, at the Harrison campus. It is a hiring event, And we've got a large array of employers planning to attend. And there's some focus on registered apprenticeship as well as a wide variety of occupations. We're pretty excited about it. Public is invited from 2 to 5. And so if there's anybody that's looking for employment in the, I'm going to say the central Michigan area, because we have employers from Gladwin, we have employers from McClare, Harrison, Lake, Mount Pleasant. So we cover quite a wide range of an area for this hiring event.
So you call it a hiring event, which leads me to believe that you could get hired on the spot.
You could, absolutely. Bring a resume and be professionally dressed, business dressed, be ready for an on-the-spot interview. The folks that are manning the tables for these businesses are typically the human resources folks that are actually doing the hiring.
So let me ask: is there a place where a potential employee could go to find out who's going to be there? And I ask this on purpose because I've always been told, and in my very young days, I found it to be true, that if you know something about the company, it kind of gives you an edge up. I mean, you've done a little homework on who you're talking to. So is there a place people can go to find out who's going to be there?
For sure. Actually, we've been putting that information out on the Michigan Works Region 7B Facebook page. The employers' information is being shared out, and the occupations that they're hiring for are being shared out as well.
And are these jobs, I have to assume, it's a bad word, I know, but I'm assuming there's a wide variety of jobs, some of which you need expertise for, others which they provide you the expertise. Is that correct?
That is correct. Some are entry level, some are not. I mean, we have places that are looking for engineers. We have places that are looking for welders, specialty welders, cooks, child care.
That's a wide variety. Yeah. And Michigan Works, so everybody understands, explain your role in all this, what Michigan Works does.
Michigan Works is geared towards developing a workforce to help our businesses. So we are very much a business-driven organization, and we work very closely with the businesses in all of our communities that we operate. And as the businesses identify their needs, we look to find some of those solutions. Most frequently, it's talent. It might be that they can find people, but the people don't have the skills. So we work with training providers and get people the skills that they need, the training,
including
so that they are then hireable.
Including how to apply for a job and how to present yourself at jobs. It's an important factor.
Yes, we do a lot of one-on-one training with folks to help get them prepared. We'll do mock interviews with our clients so that it's not such a intimidating situation when you do get to an interview. Help coach them on what are the good things to say, maybe what you shouldn't say in an interview, so that they can put their best self forward when they're having those conversations with employers.
And what does your region cover, and where are you located?
So Michigan Works Region 7B covers Clare, Gladwin, Aranac County, Iosco, Ogama, and Roscommon.
It's a bunch. And you're located where?
We have offices in all 6 counties.
Oh, okay. And Michigan Works, is it it's statewide, isn't it? And has different regions?
Yes, Michigan Works is a statewide program. There are 14 different Michigan Works agencies that cover the state of Michigan, and they're all independently run.
So let's leave everybody again with the wheres and whens of this hiring fair you have coming up.
It is on April 9th, next Tuesday, at Mid-Michigan College in Harrison. There will be signs out on the road at Mid-Michigan College, as well as at the entry doors. And for public, it's open to the Career Tech Education Program in the morning, and then the public is invited from 2 until 5.
And if someone needs
polish up that resume.
if someone needs help in doing that from Michigan Works, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Come into one of our service centers
Best way.
in the county in which they live, and we have a staff that's ready to help get you job ready.
Very good. Well, Pam, listen, thanks for spending a few minutes with us this morning, and good luck with the hiring fair.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. You have
You
a great
bet.
day.
Bye-bye
All
now.
right. All right. Bye-bye.
Pam O'Loughlin, she is the COO of the Region 7B Michigan Works. We thank her for joining us. Back to our open line format for the remainder of the hour, 989-752-6111. Whatever you'd like to chat about, we're here for you.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ?
That leg.
Oh, no, he didn't, but I had a chance and I did, and I paid for it. But he laughed. Yeah, at least he was good-natured. Now, getting on to the politics. Everyone is expected to do their duty and accept less pay because of all the nice stuff going on with Trump. Have you heard one damn politician that's going to get a cut in his salary?
Yeah, no.
Well,
Oh, no,
I think
no.
it's time that they take their cuts, too, don't you?
Yep.
Why the hell should we have to do everything? And they smile and run for re-election.
And
I'd like to see their pay
exempt
cut in half.
themselves from the laws they pass.
Why?
They do. I don't know why. They do,
No,
so they don't have to answer for them.
Well, we vote them in. Why the
Yeah.
hell can't they listen to us?
Because you voted them in once they're in. You understand?
Quit arguing with me. I want them to do their share like everyone else that works for a living, and now they don't know whether they're going to get enough Social Security. They don't know if
Well,
they have a damn job tomorrow.
Take Social Security. And they're not going to monkey with Social Security right now. I mean, they may try and find the abuse, which is fine. They should. But they're not going to impact the Social Security recipients. Too big a
No,
vote.
but how would you look? Yeah.
Too big a voting block.
Well, how would you like to have a job for 15, 20 years, and all of a sudden they say, well, we don't need you anymore. Bye.
Listen, I'm in a
That's what
business.
I'm talking about.
I'm in a business where that happens all the time. That's part of the business. I've
Well, you're
I've been
still
very lucky. I've been very lucky, but it does happen. It happens throughout the industry. It's happening in the media industry across the country. It's happening every day.
I know, but I don't like it.
Well, I don't like it either, but it's happening. I don't have any
Well,
choice.
Okay, I'll vote for you, sir.
Good,
Talk
thank
to
you.
ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
And let's talk to Owen in Beaverton. Owen, good morning.
Good morning. Since, the last weekend we had that big ice storm up
Yeah,
north.
you
and
did.
We had rain down here and whatever. I have a suggestion for your channel, is to have on Saturday mornings only, maybe even Sundays, but do a 1 hour news. You do your national news, local news, your sports, your weather, and then in between of doing all that, then you do like a local event that's going on that weekend. Because that would have helped out last weekend with all the bad weather going on.
Yeah.
Because TV5 is the only local channel now in our entire region. I mean, from here to the bridge, Mackinac Bridge, that does a Saturday morning newscast now.
Yep.
So,
Yep. I'm aware of that. And I'd love to do what you're talking about, but it's outside of my pay grade. I'll pass it on, though.
because I think that maybe, you could all take a turn, all four of you guys just take a turn on Saturday and do it. Jonathan do it 1 week, John or Mr. Purchase can do it 1 week. Charlie Rue can do it 1 week. Maybe you can do it 1 week. Just, 1 week. That's it. The one weekend that you're only there for, maybe 2-3 hours. So.
All right. Well, we'll put it on the table. I'll tell the powers to be.
And also in a couple of weeks, I want to call you during the open line hour. Is this Glavin High School Travel Club is having their we're having a annual first ever euchre fundraiser.
All right.
And I want to call you in a couple of weeks to give you the information.
You can do that.
And maybe have it, and I will send it to Charlie Root again. See if he can get it on the Friday morning events page.
I'm sure he will.
So
good enough.
I would like to see the advisor of the Glavin Travel Club to call you and talk to you for a little while, but he's a teacher and he's in the middle of school.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's why I want to call you back in a couple of weeks and tell you about it.
Good enough, Owen. Have a great day. Enjoy.
Right, bye.
Bye-bye now. Yeah, the weather thing up north, man, that was scary. Huge ice. And now, today it was announced they were escorting across the Mackinac Bridge. They reopened it, but they're escorting at 20 miles an hour. And some of the sheets of ice falling from the bridge towers and cables are the size of garage doors. I'm going, whoa. I don't know if I want to cross the bridge right now. But that was some nasty weather. We've had some strange weather, but it's interesting. My late wife, there's a little plant, a little white plant. I've always heard it called snow bunnies or snow buds. And they come up just about this time of the year. And when they do, it usually means there's going to be at least one more snow event. Well, they came up earlier this week, like on Sunday, Monday, I started seeing them. And guess what? By Wednesday, early morning, it was snowing a little bit outside, and you got up and you went outside, and the grassy areas had snow on them. I've always threatened to take Roundup and get rid of these snow buds, but I don't think it'll do any good. I don't know if it's an old wives' tale or whatever, but the reality is every time they've come up in the spring, there's been at least one more snow event, not necessarily significant, but enough to leave a coating on the ground. I don't know if you have them at your home, but boy, have I got them in mine. They're all over the place. And they'll die out, too. I mean, in another week, they won't be there. They'll be gone. And we will have had the snow. All right, lines open for you, 989-752-6111, the number to call.
Rocket Grab Plus.
Long term, and I am certainly not a financial advisor. I don't sell it. I don't recommend anybody who does. That's a personal decision on your point. But if you look at it every day and you watch the shenanigans going on because of all this, you'll just drive yourself nuts. So right now, as I watch, it's coming back a little bit. Now it's at 1479 rather than better than 15 down. That's 1,500. Huge drop. I don't recall, because I don't follow it that close, I guess. I just don't recall big drops like this, where there's been a continuous series of it. Because right now the Dow stands at 40,723. How long ago was it? It was at 45, almost 46,000, reaching a new high. So time will tell. But this, I'm sure there's some investment advisors out there saying, hold on, this might be a great time to buy. So whatever the reason your portfolio is structured the way it is, talk to your advisor before you do anything. Don't panic. That's the big thing. Don't panic. And it's going to be interesting, too, to see how these tariffs hold up. By that I mean, will they stay in place? Or will some of them adjust as the other countries adjust? And is it a full-blown trade war? It's certainly causing a beatdown in the stock market. But the question is, how long will it last? Do we emerge as a loser in all of this? Or does it do what he hopes it does, and that's force businesses to return business, construction, manufacturing business to the United States? It's created a lot of anger around the world. There's no two ways about that. Yet at the same time, we've been taken advantage of by these countries for a long, long time. Now it appears we're going to have to make a sacrifice because of it. But certainly, when other countries are charging us exorbitant tariffs, and we're not doing the same in reciprocation, it doesn't allow our products to be exported. Nobody wants to buy them because they got big tariffs on them. So I understand the notion of reciprocal tariff. And in the initial phases of this, when the president was assigning tariffs specifically to certain countries, including Mexico and Canada, we saw movement. We saw them make adjustments. We saw them conciliatory. Whether we see that now, that's a whole nother story. Because it's so widespread, it covers so much. Watch closely, see if some of these countries start adjusting their tariffs downward to relieve the pressure on our tariffs, which will inhibit their products from coming into the country and make them more expensive. It's going to cost us, at least in the initial days of this, in the initial weeks and months. It's going to cost us. The only proof of the pudding will be in the long range. It either succeeds in doing what he thinks it'll do and increase manufacturing in this country, or it will have failed and cost us all a lot. Time will tell. We'll be back with more calls.
Save big money on your next.
And we're all going to feel pain from these tariffs. There's no doubt about it. But if we don't do something now, in the future, we won't even be able to pay for our interest on the debt. So I'm just, I just look at the big picture, not just what's happening now. I'm concerned about our kids and grandkids and stuff like that. We just got to do something.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think we have to be a little careful here because we need to separate the issues. By that, I mean the tariffs are one set of issues. The $37 trillion debt is a whole nother set of issues. And that's what DOGE is going after and trying to get that down and reduce our expenses so that we have a more reasoned approach to government, if you will. The tariffs they have some impact on it because the money is collected, goes into the general fund. But, unless you control your spending, no matter what you take in, if you're spending more than you take in, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I get that. But the trade deficit adds to our debt. And I think what he's trying to do is help that out by evening so that we're not in a $260 billion trade deficit. And so I think that adds to the our national debt. I'm telling you, I really would like it if the state of Michigan would have a bipartisan group of business people that would look into how Michigan spends its money. And I know that will never happen. But as a taxpayer, I love it when I can see what we're spending our money on and where it's going.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It does happen. You just don't hear about it enough. And mainly because the two sides capture the information, and if it's not good for them, they're not going to tell you. Bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. it's politics. But what's going on with Doge and Musk? I mean, you can take a politician; they go in not very rich, they come out multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And what have they built with the money that they have accumulated? You take Musk, and you can see that. Yeah, personally, he can have as much money as he wants, but he reinvests it and makes inventions that better our lives.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm all for it.
I don't begrudge Musk or anybody else their wealth, particularly in a case like Musk, where he's built that wealth by building products, inventing things. I think that's wonderful. Isn't that the American way? Wasn't that always the dream? It's what capitalism's all about. We're driven by innovation. I don't begrudge anybody making a lot of money because of it. Now, I'll put a caveat on that. There are those who I don't think are doing a good job but still making a lot of money. Enron is an example of what happened there with, they were literally stealing it. And, that has to be looked at and it has to be addressed because, most businesses operate on an above board manner and in a conscientious way. But there are those that don't, and we need to weed them out too.
Yeah, I agree. We need to start with the fraud and abuse first and get that weeded out and then find out, what we need to do after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's in steps, and I wouldn't even mind, like you had a caller the other day that talked about that a state park couldn't even buy toilet paper or supplies. And I'm like, well, where's all the money go that them state parks and all that, where does that money go? I'd like to know why they don't have a budget or a fund.
Yeah. And I'm not sure the accuracy either. So, all right.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Right.
Take care.
Yep.
And our last caller is going to be Jeff in Bay City. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, Art. So the tariffs, it's really simple for people to understand if they want to open their eyes to watch what's going on. You and I could sit down and play the game of Monopoly, and I will give you all the money, and I'll start off with all the properties, and at the end of the game, I will have all your money and still have all the properties.
If you play right.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's what this is all about. What did Trump say? Please, we've got Carl out there, a lot of different people that come from different angles. Let's think about this. How about true free trade? You don't charge us to be in your marketplace. We don't charge you to be in our marketplace.
I have said for years, we are masters of negotiating, quote, free trade. We're terrible at negotiating fair trade.
Right. And what with the United States, what other people do not realize, our marketplace, we do buy. We are a society that wants things and we desire things.
We're the biggest.
We will go out and work and buy it.
We're the biggest marketplace in the world.
Right. And here, China is how many more billions of people than us? Mm-hmm. How about India?
Yep.
And, and the trade. Oh, they're charging us 100 or 150% or 95% or 50%. And we're charging them nickels. Yep. And now what people are like, oh my gosh, everything's going to go up. It's going to cost.
Well, of course, that's because you know why? We love stuff cheap. We've driven this. Yep. It's unfortunate.
Oh,
Jeff, I got to interrupt because I'm out of time here, buddy. But we'll do it again. Okay. Thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks, Art.
And we'll be back to close out. Tell you what's ahead.
Rocket Grab Plus.
Dow Jones Industrial Average is now down 1,568 points. We'll be back. When we return, we're going to learn about the Bay County Commission on Aging. Have some guests for that. Before that, though, news from CBS and local report. Jonathan Dent is in the WSGW newsroom for Michael Purchase this morning, and we will be back right after the news.
Broadcasting from the